God of War has now turned 20 years old, an incredible franchise spanning 8 total games. 9 total if you want to include that mobile game from 2007. With such a momentous occasion for the series, I bet we're going to get something amazing from Santa Monica Studios too, right? Right?
Are you serious?
I guess that's it then. God of War has just hit its 20th anniversary celebration. To commemorate it, Santa Monica released a little something for us fans. A Jormungandr plushie with the magnetic Leviathan axe, a 20th anniversary retrospective book, a vinyl collection of the God of War soundtrack, some t-shirts, and of course, the Dark Odyssey cosmetic collection for God of War Ragnarok. In my honest opinion, these are all a little lame. I think these are great pieces of merch for a franchise as big as this, but for the 20-year anniversary, this feels a little underwhelming for one particular reason: the lack of Greek saga representation. Not to say there's none, but to help get my point across, let me paint a picture. It's December 2023, and during the Game Awards, we get the reveal of DLC for God of War Ragnarok called Valhalla, set to release in a week for free. To me, this looked like nothing more than a roguelike experience, beating up enemies and bosses, and not much more. However, come the DLC's release and getting to play it, I saw that this was more than a bunch of combat trials. Valhalla brought back Greek enemies, locations, music, weapons, and even Helios.
Congratulations, old friend. You really are going places in Valhalla.
And as the cherry on top, once you beat the story of Valhalla, you are rewarded with the classic design of Kratos to use in both Valhalla and the main story of Ragnarok if you so please. This felt like a proper celebration of God of War's history that made the old fans and new fans happy. All of this got many people speculating whether or not this could be a test for something bigger in the future, like a remaster of the classic God of War games. Maybe Santa Monica wanted to use Valhalla to prepare new assets for a future project ahead of time, and see whether or not fans will be receptive to Greek-era content while the focus has been on the Norse mythology. Speculation and discussion was abundant for months that followed Valhalla's release until October of 2024, when a user on Twitter who has been correct about information a couple times stated that the God of War Greek games were in fact being remastered at Santa Monica Studios and Nixxes Studios. They said that it will release in 2025 with an announcement between December and March. This was exactly what I wanted to hear, and then some. It just made perfect sense. Again, Santa Monica made all new assets from the Greek era, so why wouldn't they want to use it all and bring back God of War 1 through 3 with a fresh coat of paint? Well, day by day, we waited for more news. Day by day, Sony stayed silent. It wasn't until mid-January of 2025 we finally got news on God of War, though it wasn't the news anyone was expecting. It had been confirmed by Bloomberg that a God of War live service game was in development.
Sony!
And has since been cancelled.
Oh, thank goodness.
This was both the biggest scare and relief at the same time. To even hear the words God of War and live service in the same sentence was terrifying because... Needless to say, this was good news. However, that did put the God of War remasters up in the air. It's entirely possible that the development going on behind the scenes was actually for whatever this live service game was, and not the remasters we were all hoping for so badly. While the sparks of hope may have begun to dwindle, they were swiftly reignited months later in February when, on Twitter again, with user Jeff Grubb, stated that the rumors of the God of War remaster had jumped the gun, and that an official announcement will happen closer to the 20th anniversary of the franchise. So now it was back to waiting with a side of coping. Here we are, many months later, and so much copium consumed, we still can't match the Switch 2 subreddit. Now, with all that being said, it's entirely reasonable that I and many other people had poor expectations going into this event hoping for remasters, especially after the cancellation of the live service game. At the same time, though, I'd like to think it's reasonable to expect just a little more than what we got. The plushie, the books, the skin, all this is good stuff and I like it, but again, for the 20th annual celebration of the franchise, I can't say I feel that the whole series is well represented by these. Valhalla pays more tribute to the old games than this random skin from God of War 2, and that DLC came out 2 years ago now. Santa Monica has shown that they deeply care about God of War and its history. since they seem so hell-bent on calling back the game's roots with Valhalla, is it really that unreasonable to hope for something as little as even a re-release of God of War 1 through 3? Maybe it is. I only say this because of how much I love this franchise and because I wanted to put my thoughts out there. This may not be the way I would have celebrated 20 years of God of War, but I'm still happy to celebrate it regardless of the merch or cosmetics. Because in the end, this is a series that has truly stood the test of time and has one incredible entry after another that are all beloved to this day by millions and still talked about everywhere, myself included. The rumors of the God of War remasters were not true. But instead, we can keep enjoying the games we have and look forward to God of War 7. If you made it this far, I just want to thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.